Hi, my name is Maddie Mitchell, and I chose the artwork American Gothic by Grant Wood. So this is the artwork. It is actually an oil painting on beaver board. So yes, oil paints were used and it was placed on beaver board. And this is the artwork. You might have seen it before because it is very famous. But yes, I'll be speaking on this artwork. So the painter, his name is Grant Wood. He lived from 1892 to 1942. He's from Anamosa, Iowa, and his education was from Art Institute of Chicago, which is actually where this piece of art was first exhibited and where everything took off, was at his alma mater. He was inspired by the art movement called New Objectivity, which represents an art movement against expressionism. So there was this kind of rebellion against just expressionism and having expressive art. And so he was more inspired by that. So this painting lies under the modern era, and the modern era was during the 1860s to the 1980s, and this painting was made in 1930s, so therefore making it in the modern era frame. And the reason why it's a modern painting is because it shows the importance of societal issues and topics. So it's not just a painting just to be a painting, although people can just take it that way because it is done in such a realistic form. But there's also so much more. And I feel like when you do see that painting, you almost think that there's more because of just the face that they have. And yeah, so I believe that this show's modern because it talks about societal issues and topics and really relates to the people that are looking at it. And this painting doesn't necessarily look like a typical modern painting because it does have a realism approach to it, because it is actually a realism painting, but it's not just what is at face value, it also has a deeper meaning. So the artistic style is realism, like I said. So as you can tell, I put in some different parts of the painting, and this painting is very realistic, with the realistic people, the realistic lines in their faces and the shadows in the window, and is very detailed. And actually, it is said that this painter was once an impressionism painter, but he wanted to go more realistic and detailed on this painting. So it is very much more realistic, like people know that these are people, rather than just blocks and having to just look into that. So also it is considered a Gothic revival, because it is done in a very Gothic art way, the coloring and the architecture. And then also it's under regionalism, which means that regionalism is the art of being highly opposed to European abstract art, preferring representational art. So again, kind of like realism, very much against abstract art, more going towards realism. So this painting was created, number one, by inspiration for Grant Wood. He was called by a mentor in his life to go to Iowa, and he saw the house that's actually at the bottom of this page, and he was instantly inspired. He saw the way that it was structured and how it had this Gothic character to it, and so he wanted to do a painting on it. And it started off with a loose oil painting and had a watercolor like feel. and then it went into a small pencil drawing on an envelope, which I think of to be a thumbnail, which artists do to kind of get the idea down. And then that was then transferred to the original medium, beaver board, that then created the original work. So the significance of this painting is it's one of the most famous paintings in American history, and the reason why is because it has caused so much communication towards people and almost confusion of really what does it mean, and what is it saying, and there is this realistic value to it, but then it also gets you thinking, and there are different thoughts on what the meaning is, and one is showing narrow-mindedness that is seen in the Midwestern culture. So some people think that is showing, in a negative way, narrow-mindedness of Midwesterners. And then number two, glorifying these who live in rural America, such as Iowa, and displaying both praise and satire. So yeah, there are different approaches of what this means. Also, during this time that this painting came out, agriculture was moving more towards city, so there was kind of a newness transition, and so there was kind of a stigma towards agriculture living, which created kind of an uproar for people of what the painting meant of towards agriculture people, and possibly being offensive. And then why did I choose this painting? Honestly, because I've seen this painting so many times, but I've never done actual research on it before, and so I was so interested in what it all meant. Much like a lot of people, I've always loved how simple it was, like even the color palette, and then even just the blankness of their faces, and but there's so much more to it. It's simple yet intricate. It's simple, but you just know that there's more to it. And then also, as you can tell on these pictures, there are a lot of people that do parodies on this painting, and people showing their own creativity and having fun with it. And so I've just seen these around, and it's always just made me interested in this painting. I think it's very simple and very very beautiful and very detailed, and means a lot. I feel like there's a mystery to it, which I really love. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Bye.